guys, it's Ms. Diana coming to you, not quite live from the Glenville Library, with some information about how to make your very own mini aquarium with what's called marimo moss balls. So you should have a kit, and if you don't already have a kit, you can check at the Glenville, Scotia, Rotterdam, Quaker Street, or Central Library branches to see if we've got any left. And inside your kit this week, you'll have, of course, your mossy guy. There should be a little baggie full of water with a moss ball inside. You'll also have a paper bag full of some small stones, some glass, little pebbles, and seashells. You'll have a how-to paper with some info that we'll talk about in the video in case you need to refer to it again. And you'll also have a bookmark with some of my favorite kind of plant-themed or environmental-themed reads. So this is a real simple one because, let's be real, we're in the middle of summer, it's been really hot outside. Something with a lot of steps I wasn't really vibing with. So the last thing that you'll need is some kind of a glass jar or a bowl. Probably you have, if you're like me, a lot of jars around the house. A mason jar is great. A spaghetti sauce jar, which is what I'm going to use, also perfect. And you're going to want to make sure that your jar is clean and dry before you put anything inside it. Then you're going to open up your little bag full of stones, gems, shells, and so forth. And you can kind of just arrange them inside the jar so that the bottom is covered with rocks. And then you can layer in some of the more decorative elements like the glass pebbles. There's some glass beads, I think, in some of them, and some seashells too, if you want to use the shells. This forms what's called an aquarium substrate. Now, if you have aquariums at home, you probably know that sand, gravel, or stones are a great substrate for the bottom of the tank. And if you have different kinds of live plants in an aquarium, they will grow, the roots will grow into that, the way that plants out in the world grow into earth. Now, our plant is what's called a marimo moss ball. Now, it's called that because it looks, obviously it's round, a little ball, and it looks kind of mossy, but it's actually a type of algae. And these guys are just total chillers. They're very easy to take care of. They grow really slowly. They don't like direct sunlight, but some filtered light near a window will be good. And other than that, you really just have to, change their water occasionally and keep it from getting too musty. If it's starting to look a little dark, you can pour it out, top it off with some fresh. You can also add this to an aquarium that you might already have, because this type of moss ball is nice to have with fish or other plants. So once you've got your aquarium squared away with anything that you'd like to have inside that forms a layer on the bottom, you can open up your baggie, give your moss ball a little squeeze. This removes some of the sediment that might have been gathering on it just from the water that it's already been living in. You can squish them a little bit. If you have a bigger moss ball, or as the moss ball grows, if it's starting to outgrow your aquarium, but you like the way it looks and you want to, keep it in something smaller, or if you want to split it between aquariums, you can actually pinch these guys apart because they're very uncomplicated plants. And you'll see when you give them a little squeeze that water comes out and it gets a little bit smaller, a little bit drier. It looks more like moss we might find on like a log. Once you drop it back into the water, it'll bob for a minute because it's lighter, and then it'll start to sink a little bit as it takes water in. So give him a squeeze, drop him back in his baggie, and then you're actually going to pour the whole thing in to your new aquarium. And you can top it up depending on how big you just want him to be covered. So you can top it up with some more water until you can see your moss ball start to float. So there he is in his new house. And after this, like I said, this is just the most chill type of plant, really. It's a good thing to have like on a desk, your bedside table. If you already have an aquarium, as we've talked about, you can add it right in. And it just adds a new feature to an aquarium, or provides a perfect kind of mini bite-sized aquarium if you've never had one before. I named my moss ball Malcolm after the coolest kid that I went to school with when I was your age. You could name yours whatever you want, or maybe yours will tell you what its name is because plants are very mysterious that way. And there you have it. That is the tiniest aquarium ever. I hope you guys have fun with it. And especially because, I don't know about you, but the way that the moss ball looks reminded me kind of the soot sprites from the Studio Ghibli film Spirited Away. And that, in turn, reminded me of another Hayao Miyazaki property that I really love, which is Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. This is also a movie that Studio Ghibli made, but it's a manga as well. And we have some volumes of it at the library, so you can check it out if you want. It is, in fact, on your reading bookmark. And I love this because it's really just an interesting environmentalist sort of anime and manga experience. And it's about a princess, naturally, who lives in a post-industrial Earth after Earth has kind of torn itself apart and then reformed into different kinds of societies, all of which are being encroached on by this toxic sea that breeds monsters. And Nausicaa, the princess, sort of resists these new warlike norms of her people and the people around her, and tries to heal this breach between the new nature that her world has and the society that she's from. And it's really just imaginative and vivid. It's a great book for science fiction fans, fantasy fans. It feels magical in some ways and sort of futuristic sci-fi in other ways. It's got monsters and it's got technology. It's got kind of a mythic feel. And like all Miyazaki properties, it has really beautiful art and some really beautiful food too. So that's one of my suggested reads that tie into themes of recycling and plants and how we can exist with the world around us. For those of you who like a little bit darker stories, Wilder Girls is here for you. This is one of my favorite recent kind of body horror reads, and it is about girls at a school on an island, naturally, who encounter a toxic event of some sort that begins to change them, like physically and mentally. And it's all about what it means to live with that. There's a little bit of almost like a heist story, believe it or not, inside this book. And if you like things like Jeff Vandermeer, the recent Annihilation film, things like that, you might like Wilder Girls as well. So enjoy these books or one of the others from your eco-fiction bookmark. Have fun putting together your new aquarium. Let us know how your moss ball is doing, if it has a name. And we will see you next time for Miss Stuff and I are putting together a self-care kit for the end of summer reading and the beginning of school. So that'll be a good time. And we'll see you then.